the Recovery Daily Podcast. I'm your host, Rachel Abbasi. I'm a grateful recovering alcoholic and stroke survivor. And today's episode is going to be very fun. The highlight is that we're getting our ceilings fixed right below me. So it's going to be fun. And today we're going to talk about surrender and asking for help. This is how I have been able to bring about fellowship in my life, whether it is sobriety, whether it is stroke recovery, or vestibular recovery. Being able to kind of throw my hands up in the air and be like, I can't do this on my own. That's the important part. For so long before I got sober, I looked at everything, every challenge in my life as whether I can do it or not, right? There's a public speaking opportunity for work, can I do it or not? Am I brave enough or not? Since I've been sober, I have a different perspective on things. I don't feel like the challenges in front of me are things that I have to decide whether I can do it or not. It's really more, I'm going to do it, and how many people can I engage with to help me do it? How many people can I talk to and share what I'm feeling with to get me to a place where I feel like I can put the next foot in front of the other? Bravery, I talked about this yesterday when I was talking to my guest, Ralph from the Stroke Warrior Radio. I said bravery and courage is not doing something and not being scared. Courage is doing something despite being scared. And one thing that I heard this morning in my morning meeting, which was meditation and prayer because it's Thursdays, or meditation, I should say. I mean, I guess prayer is all the time. But so anyway, yeah, we did the Calm app. So we listened to Tamara Levitt. And one of the things she said in the meditation this morning was when we were getting settled in, she said, put a gentle smile in the corners of your mouth. And whenever she says that, she says it every now and then as you're getting settled into a meditation. And I always like the feeling that I get when I focus on the corners of my mouth and trying to put a gentle smile there, because it changes me on the inside just when I put a little gentle smile in the corners of my mouth, no matter how I'm feeling. I that doesn't mean I have to want to do it. I just do it. And when I'm able to do that, there's something that ripples inside of me, something that it disturbs that unpleasant place that I may be sitting. And what it also upsets is my tendency to analyze what's happening rather than observing what's happening. And when I reach out to other people, when I surrender and I'm like, I can't do this on my own, I stop analyzing so much and I start being a student. I start listening to maybe other people's experience, strength, and hope. I tend to be able to let go of my thoughts, if even just temporarily, instead of clinging to them and trying to analyze them and figure out the solution. What I'm doing is recognizing that I don't have all the answers, recognizing that maybe the solution is not within me. And that doesn't mean I can't do it. It means that I can't do it on my own. Um, but the thing is, I don't ever have to do anything on my own. Asking for help is allowing me to learn from other people, to, like I said, be a student, stop analyzing all the what ifs that could happen in my life. And this is something particularly that I struggled with as I've entered into stroke and vestibular recovery. I just have this obsession. I wouldn't even call it a tendency. It's an obsession with what does my future look like? What's ahead of me? How has my life changed? And how can I possibly do this? Right? And it brings me back to that idea of, can I do this or not? And that's the thing. I don't have to have the answer to that. The answer is always, when I'm in that mode, is surrender and reach out for help. Because when I start thinking that I've got the answers, that's when my mental health is really at stake, because it means I'm starting to isolate. One thing that I learned this morning, I don't know that I've ever heard this before, is that in ancient languages, the word for mind and heart are the same. And that is fascinating to me, because when I think about, so I'm always talking about mental health. And for me, when I think of mental health, and I say it all the time on this podcast, I'm thinking about what's going on between my ears. And what's between my ears is my brain, right? Okay, I'm going to get abstract on us. But what is between my ears is my brain. And I tend to connect my brain with my mind. Okay. Because it just seems like that makes sense to me. But when I heard this idea this morning about the heart and the mind being the same word in ancient languages, I realized, yeah, like when I'm sad, my mind is challenged. My mental health is challenged. Like my mind and my mental health to me is interchangeable. Um, I don't know if I'll change my opinion on that in 5 minutes or not, but I'm just sharing with you kind of what's going on as far as like thinking through all of these thoughts about mind and heart being connected. So when I'm excited about something, like let's say I have a craft that I'm working on that's really fulfilling. Like right now, I'm making a purse. I'm just about finished up actually. I'm making a purse out of an old pleather jacket that I've had for like 10 years. I got my money's worth. I got it at Goodwill, and then I wore it for like 10 years, and it's starting to, like, the pleather is like just dried up and falling off. So I took it apart and saw that on the other side of this material, it's like denim. It's like soft denim. So I'm making a purse from the inside of the jacket. And I'm really excited about it. It's like super stylish. I mean, I'm just going to say it's pretty cool. And that activity is getting me, it's fulfilling. It's getting me excited about being able to be creative. And today's a big day. I am hosting a creativity and vestibular recovery meeting, with virtual meeting with the Vestibular Disorders Association. The conference is connected to the conference, and there have been 60 people that have RSVP'd to come to this thing. So I see that it's a big deal. And I'm excited about that. I'm like, maybe there's something here. I come here every day, I talk about how I'm feeling, but it sounds like there's a lot of people in recovery who are seeking that that outlet, that creative outlet, that thing that helps them feel fulfilled and excited. And I correlate that with my heart. Um, when I say I'm excited about something, I usually put my hand on my chest. Well, when I'm excited about something, my mental well being just starts lifting like a hot air balloon. It just starts lifting. And I can see that connectedness of those two things. Connectedness? Yeah. Connectedness of those two things. So, why don't we seek the answers to both issues in as if they are one? Um, I heard this morning, and I think it was in my second meeting, somebody said, or the reading said, the most important parts of us are the pieces that can't be seen. Um, that is something that as soon as I got into sobriety, I started to realize that this isn't about not drinking. Autumn is barking at the guy working on the ceiling beneath me. So, Autumn, yoo-hoo, stop barking. Thank you. Um, so I've lost my train of thought, and that's okay. We're gonna get it back. We're gonna get it back. Right. When I got sober, I thought it was about putting down the drink, but I soon realized that it was more than that. It was addressing the stuff that's going on inside of me. That stuff that's going on inside of me, the dark place that I talk about all the time, where I store all of my sadness and fears and depression and everything, um, that stuff can't be seen by anybody else. Yet the way that it makes me behave can be seen. I dropped my microphone and everything. Sorry, this is a disaster. This is an absolute disaster. Okay, here we go. We're gonna keep going. We're gonna keep going. So for you lifetime listeners, you know that this is just what it's like to watch a podcast with a stroke survivor and somebody who has a scaredy cat English bulldog and an adorable Weimaraner. But we're going to finish up here. So the most important pieces of us can't be seen. And I feel that that is our heart and our mind. And today in recovery, I chase serenity the way that I used to chase wine. And I'm willing to do whatever it takes to get there. And it's when we are pushed to that point of like unmanageability in our lives, whether that is in active alcoholism, stroke recovery, vestibular recovery, that can look like anger. It can look like depression. Um, it can look like anxiety. But when we get to the point where we feel like I can't do it anymore, throw at the end of that sentence, without help, without somebody else, without my people, without Team Rachel. That to me has been the answer. So that's what I've got today. That was fun. I told you it was going to be fun. So I delivered. And ignore all the boxes behind me. Okay. Thanks for coming. I'll talk to you tomorrow.